everybody, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through your Tabata HIIT circuit. Bump-a-da-bump. We got just about 4 minutes until we get started. Pardon me as I just make sure that things are showing up on the interwebs here on the right page. I do recommend, if you happen to have some light or medium weights for today's class, that you gather what you've got around. Oh, that's weird. Why is it putting that image up on top? Oh, that's really weird. Okay, things seem to be working. We're officially almost 1 year in, y'all. 1 year in of sending you these live videos, which started on April 1st. It's not too late to get started. Definitely a good time to keep going. All right, so if you can put some music on so you can stay energized. We're just gonna do the best that we can with the bodies that we have today, with the equipment that we have around. Gonna find that great workout and some delightful rounds, eight rounds, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're gonna just ramp up the challenge each time that we move through, just finding some great ways to really challenge the total body. Thanks for coming. Grab some water, shake it off, get out of your seat, and we're gonna get started in 2 amazing minutes. I'm just gonna sit here in the meantime and keep working. Keep working. Oh, Uncle Buck. Are you as tired as I am, Uncle Buck? Here, let's show the good world a little sleeping dog on that couch, just a little bit. There we go. Uncle Buck isn't feeling 100%. So just showing him some love. Passover. Today's officially day 2, the 3rd night, the 2nd day. Gosh golly, I'm so hungry already. As a vegetarian, this holiday is a challenge. I know, Uncle Buck, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Just keep doing your best, okay, little buddy? I know. You're gonna want to leave the room when we start exercising anyway, so it's okay. How do I know? Because I am your mother. Where's my water? Okay, 4:29. Do. Let's do it. Hey everybody, thanks for coming. Today it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. Make sure you have some space for yourself to move around, to move your body. You've got some water, you've got some music going, hopefully, to stay motivated. We're gonna get started nice and easy with a little shoulder warm up. Oh, wow. So stand up from your desk, plant those feet firmly on the floor below you, really ground through your heels, press through the balls of your feet, start to draw that lower belly in. Starting off nice and slow, just begin to focus on your breath. Change direction of those shoulder circles. We're just gonna make this movement a little bit bigger as we warm up the body. We got a lot of shoulder work to start with. We're gonna be using that upper body for a lot of support and some planks down on the floor, so I just wanna make sure that you are feeling good to begin. Go ahead, just open those arms and alternate with which arm crosses over the top. Work to bring those pinkies back behind you. See if you can still keep your rib cage knit together, so even as those arms pull back behind you, there's still some real engagement here of your abdominal core as opposed to opening and allowing that belly and chest to really flay out. We're going to switch back to some shoulder rolls, but this time go for a little individual shoulder roll. Ooh. Going one shoulder at a time helps me to feel it a little bit more, and hopefully you feel it a little bit more. I feel it even through my abs, a little through the mid-back. Go ahead, change direction of these shoulder rolls. And let's go ahead and get some big rolls get both of our arms or whole hands involved. So you can either separate them out or do them both at the same time. Go for 3 to 5 in one direction, and then 3 to 5 in the opposite direction. Awesome. Then we're going to go for a nice big reach up overhead and a lateral tap out to the side. So you can either bring it up in a big rainbow, or if it feels better for your body today, if your shoulders are really tight, just go ahead and reach through. I know sometimes that just drawing it up in a rainbow can be a little bit too intense or make me not feel the stability that I need through that shoulder. So make sure that you're doing what's smart for you today and really start to move those feet a little bit more, a little bit wider. We're going to switch from this overhead reach to a press through the chest to the opposite side in 3, 2, 1. So just push through that hand palm. A little bit more rotation. So finding a little rotation of the shoulders, but beginning that rotation with your really nice drawn in tight core. You can move a little faster if you're feeling in control, if it feels good. Feel free to move a little bit slower though. It's a Monday. Just doing what feels right for your body. Let's get a couple more. Then we're going to keep those feet nice and wide and go for some alternating toe taps. In 3, 2, 1. So hinge forward. Just reach for your opposite toe. You can do so with the straight leg. You can switch a little bit from pedaling through your heels a little bit more in a lunge. We got some nice low lunges similar to this coming up today. Find that rotation here for 3, 2, 1. Great work. Awesome. Come down towards the back of your mat. We're just going to give ourselves 3 inchworms. If you want to be super cool, you can tuck your shirt into your pants like a total winner. If you're home by yourself and you're not recording this and nobody needs to see, be confident and proud of your body. Feel free to let some of that skin show. Walk yourself out and really pull yourself forward into that plank. Then send your hips back and stand yourself up. It's just the warm up. Take your time. You can take some bends in your knees. Maybe you're moving really fast to come out into this inchworm. Maybe you're moving really slow. Maybe you're not getting all the way out to the inchworm. Maybe you're just coming into some sort of a tabletop and shift. Give me one more. And then take your time and roll yourself up. Ooh. Wow, feels good. Grab a sip of water to get started with. We'll start off with a little bit of hydration. We're going to come right into round 1. Because I don't know where my timer is, and I have no idea what time it is. All right, so the very first move that we have today is going to be some 90-degree bent arm lat raises. So I want you to really focus on what's happening with your upper body with this one. So no extra arching of the back, and you want to make sure that you're not rounding forward. So a nice lifted chest. Your chest is open, your shoulder blades are engaged, and there's a tiny little tuck of your hips forward. You can take a slight bend in your knees, which is better than locking those knees out. All right, and if you have weights, feel free to use a variety of weights. I am pretty tired, so I'm going to keep things nice and light, at least to begin with. Remember, you can always put your weights down or pick something larger, but we got a couple moves today. We're just going to start off bringing things up to 90-degree angles. Elbows come in line with our shoulders. You know what? We're challenging ourselves to see change, so I'm going to start with that heavier weight, and if I need to lighten up, I will, and I hope that if you have the opportunity at home to do so, you do the same. Let's start right there in 3, 2, 1. Pull your belly in, core tight, so keep this 90-degree angle the whole time. Make sure that you're not creating chicken wings, so you're not bringing those weights up to your shoulders, back, and lifting those arms up. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to stay here at this 90-degree angle. We just got 2 rounds of this move. Awesome, you get to take a break right now. So maybe you want to shake those shoulders out. Maybe you want to shake out any tension in your lower body. We're going to do the same exact thing again. Set yourself up and begin. So equally grounding the weight through your heels, taking that slight tuck forward of your pelvis. Shoulder blades are squeezed towards each other so that chest is nice and lifted. Remember to take that rounding out of your upper body. Find a nice steady pace that works for you. Awesome. We're going to change it up for this next round. So starting here at 90, up to goalpost, back down to 90. I need lighter weights for sure. Let's begin. Pull that belly in. Make sure you don't have that overarching your back once again. Totally cool to do without weights, just working a little bit into that rotation here. Not a move that we do very frequently. Really work to keep those elbows in line. Take a break, shake it out. I'm going to do that same thing one more time. Then we got some overhead presses coming up to the end. 3, 2, 1. I like to think of this one like those good luck cats. Meow. Congratulations, you've made it to your workout. That's definitely some great luck. Draw that lower belly in once more. Make sure that you didn't lose that contraction of your core. Shoulders released away from ears, but squeezed towards each other. Awesome. Next up, we're coming into some overhead presses. We're going to start out doing both arms at the same time. Keeping it nice and wide, begin. So press up, bring it back down. Once again, bring some attention to how you have the weight in your feet. Pardon my coughing, oh my goodness. I just saw how super awesome I look with the shirt tucked into my pants. Great. Next up, we're going to switch it up just a little bit. If you can, keep the other arm there. We're just going to do a single arm press. Only one arm is moving. Set yourself up and begin right now. Still keeping those elbows nice and wide. Oh, I'm already starting to get tired here. If you need to drop the opposite hand and just focus on the one that's working right now, know that that's an option too. Oh, take a break. 10 seconds to yourself. We got the opposite arm coming up. Last 2 rounds. One more single arm, one more double arm. 3, 2, 1. Challenge yourself to get that opposite arm just up here waiting. A little static and dynamic work happening at the same time. Oh, keep that chest nice and open, elbows wide to the side. Almost finished. One more. Take a break. Now we got both arms pressing up at the same time. If you can, keep it wide. If you need to, you can always turn it into an Arnold press or challenge yourself to bring it all together. Begin either one of these options, either just the wide press up, really stressing those shoulders, or give yourself a little bit of a break as you come back into your lat raise and your rotator cuff movement. Oh, this is a heavier weight than I used for my meows. All right, great work, y'all. Go ahead, put those weights down, grab yourself a quick sip of water. Next up, we're gonna relax the upper body a little bit and focus back on the legs. So just gonna move these weights out of the way to make sure that you have lots of room, because we're gonna ramp up the challenge on these alternate side leg lunges, which are going to go from just alternating side lunges into a side lunge kick. Oh, see, Uncle Buck, I told you you didn't want to be in here for this class as we finish out. All right, so I'll start off, just open those feet nice and wide. We're going to come down into a squat. So shift the weight into your heels and glutes towards the back of the room. And from here, we're just going to rotate side to side. See how low you can keep your shoulders as you rotate from side to side. So instead of lifting up and having this big arch happening with your body, low side to side like you are drawing a line with your shoulders. All right, we got 2 rounds just like that, right? Yep, we start in 3, 2, open those feet, get low, here we go. So keeping the weight in your heels, we're working to keep the outer edge of the foot pressed into the floor. So I just move back so you can see that even as I shift from side to side, I'm not rolling towards the inside of my foot. I'm really working to press that pinky toe side of the foot to the floor, still keeping weight in the heels. Take a break and glutes to the back of the room. We're gonna do that same thing one time. How'd you do with staying low? Challenge yourself again. 3, 2, begin. So chest is staying lifted, belly might come a little closer towards thighs, but we're not rounding or collapsing through the upper body, so you're looking forward. You can have your hands at your hips for a little bit more support. You can have your hands at your chest. It's just going to challenge you a little bit more, just shifting side to side. Great work. We're going to stay low. This time as we shift, can you lift your foot up? So you are going to intentionally lift your foot up and then glue the outer edge down. Begin. Do you feel that? In your glute of the standing leg, big time. Oh, as you lift yourself, that leg up. Kind of like a little single leg squat action happening. If it feels good, you can take a break. A little bit more of a lateral leg lift. 5 seconds before we do the same thing again. 3, 2, get low. Here we go. So just find a little bit of a lift. See if you can lower it down in control. So no crashing that foot down to the floor. If you need to, even shift the weight, lift your leg, lower down. Getting some good mobility in the ankles for this one as well. All right, so next we're gonna turn it into a little bit more. Make sure you have some nice space to step out to the side lunge, step in, kick through the heel. So you're gonna step out to the lunge, step in, begin, kick. Step, kick. You're gonna turn sideways so that I don't have to worry about hitting anything. Maybe you wanna get a little bit lower. You can touch the floor as you come into your side lunge. Rotate in the direction, take a break of wherever you're looking as if you're protecting your body, get that ab work. One more time, same side, same movement, begin. So lunge, step in, kick through the heel, back to your lunge. In, kick. Move whatever pace feels good for you. You can move faster, you can move slower. Keep that toe flex back towards your face as you kick out. Really push through that heel. Great, we're just gonna switch to the opposite side. So opposite leg is gonna lunge, step in, kick through your heel, step together. Ready? Begin. Lunge, step in, kick, step together. Step out, in, kick, together, out, together, kick, together. Great work. Add that little rotation of your body. Maybe you can touch the floor in this lunge. Great. Take a break. One more time through. Same leg, same side. Starting to feel those glutes. Here we go. Lunge. Together in that little modified squat and kick. Doesn't matter how high you kick up. Maybe you're striking more towards the floor. That's totally okay. Find that power in your kick though. Like you're really pushing something away. Oh, like you're shutting the door on 2020. Bam! All right. Way to go. Grab another quick sip of water. Next move, we're going to incorporate weights again. We got some Romanian deadlifts with rows. We're going to start off with the Romanian deadlift into an upright row. So your feet are going to be about hips width distance apart. Maybe it feels comfortable to be a little bit wider even. We're going to hinge forward. So as you hinge forward, you can take a slight bend of your knee. You have that nice flat back. As you feel the stretch in the back of your hamstrings, you're good. You don't have to come all the way to the floor. Keep that flat back, and as you lift yourself up, we're going to draw, lead with the elbows, and work to bring the weights close to your neck space. Sounds good, right? That's going to be move number 1. I'm going to show you all the moves this time as you take a quick little break. Next up, we're going to do a Romanian deadlift, but as we get to the bottom, we're going to go for a wide row, really wide out to the side. And one time we'll pull it back towards our hips. So wide to the side, in towards the hips, and then we're going to go for some single leg Romanian deadlift. Those will be narrow as well. And let's go ahead and find those weights. So either one heavy weight or 2 weights. 2 weights would be ideal. So let me grab 2 weights. All right, starting off with that upright row, you've only got 2 rounds. It's a total of 40 seconds. So find a weight to challenge yourself. I bet you can do it. If you have to put it down, put it down. But let's begin in 3, 2, 1. Belly in. Here we go. So you're hinging forward, nice flat back. Feet are still on the floor. Pulling yourself, pressing through your heels. Elbows high. Belly in tight as you hinge forward, nice flat back. Press through those heels to lift yourself up. And as you take a break. As you lift up, a little push of those hips forward. Same thing's gonna come up one more time with that big upright row. 3, 2, belly in, begin. So hinge forward, lift it up. If you need to take more of a bend in your knees than you saw me taking, that's totally okay too. You gotta work with the body that you have today. It's just 20 seconds of work. So challenge yourself right here. Find that steady pace to see the change. I encourage you to move a little faster than me. Way to go, y'all. All right, next time we're gonna find our row at the bottom. So hinge forward, bringing it really wide to the side, and then lift yourself up, begin. So hinge, row to your chest, and then lift. Hinge forward, row high, stand up. Find that extra little squeeze as you squeeze your glutes and push those hips forward at the top. Make sure that you still have the weight in your heels though. Awesome. Now we're just gonna bring the row a little more towards our thighs. So hinging forward, rowing towards the lower rib instead of up high at the chest. Begin. Hinge, row, drive with those elbows behind you. So elbows are closer to our sides this time. Make sure you're still breathing. Are you starting to sweat just a little bit? I hope so. Keep your eye focused down on the floor. Here come those single leg rows. So I'm gonna row the same side that I'm balancing on. Find what feels right for you. So we're gonna hinge forward, find that close row, and stand up. If you prefer to find that row with your opposite hand for a little bit more even weight, or maybe even switch it up each time. Whoa, this is some balance challenge today. All right, we're gonna do that same leg one more time. So shake out your jelly legs if you feel like I do. Open up that chest, pull your belly in, and begin. So hinge forward, row, lift yourself up. All right, doing my best to stick with rowing with the same arm that I have leg planted on the floor. You can see that slight bend in my knee, pressing through my heel to stabilize. Oh my gosh, let's switch to that opposite side. Feel it in the back of the leg big time as we find that forward hinge. Begin, pull your belly in, hinge, weight in your heel, row. You're doing your best as well to keep that chest squared down towards the floor. You're like one of those awesome birds that just keeps drinking water. You got a good life, little wooden bird that just keeps drinking water. All right, take your 10-second break. We got one more round through of these, then we get to hit the floor. Ooh, sorry, bum. 3, 2, pull your belly in, begin. So, still find as much of a draw back with your elbow. Don't lose out on the row that we're doing just because the balance is a challenge for you. If you need to, you can put that opposite foot down and just focus on finding this row. Great news, you made it. Put those weights to the side. We will have one more move with weights today, but you get a break from using them for this next round. Grab some water, meet me on the floor, on your glutes. All right, so we got 4 different moves that we're going to work through today as we build our way up into a big X and an O crunch. Starting off with just some penguin reaches. So take your time, lower yourself down. Take a couple breaths right here. Really glue your lower back down on the floor. So take that extra arch out from below your back. Maybe you need to walk your feet a little wider, a little closer in so you can find that stability in your lower back. With your lower back down on the floor for the first 2 rounds, you're just going to reach for those heels. If you need to, you can lower yourself down between each time, or you can really work to keep those shoulders off of the floor and draw your belly in as much as possible as you reach to your heels, or maybe even those pinky toes. You're ready? 3, 2, 1. I hit the wrong button. Okay. Now we begin. All right, reach towards that heel. Think about decreasing the space between your rib and the hip. So really finding and firing up those obliques a little bit. I have my palms facing up towards the ceiling to keep that chest nice and open. Take a nice little break. 10 seconds to yourself. Shake it out. Glue that lower back down on the floor. Once more, pull your belly in. Take a deep inhale. Lift yourself up and begin. Remember, it's not just about speed. Sometimes it is about moving really slow and intentionally using that exhale to find a little extra crunch even. Great. What did I say was next? Oh, we've got a wide leg butterfly. You might want to put some thumbs under your bums, open your feet wide as close to the floor as you can. Hold open for 2 and closed for 2. Open, closed. Open, closed. Great. If you're really struggling here, you might find that it's a little bit easier if you lift your upper body up so that you're not very challenged with take a break. That lower back on the floor. Oh, we've got that same thing again. Another way you can make it a little bit easier is to send your legs higher up to the ceiling. Begin. So still just opening and closing. Losing a little bit of the ab work, but getting a little bit more inner outer thighs happening here. The more that you send things away from you, heels closer towards the floor, the more you're going to get those abs firing as well. Beautiful. Next up, we're going to add in a knee tuck. So coming up onto your elbows. If you need to, you can always draw one at a time. Otherwise, heels out, draw those knees in. Any sort of fun combo here. Oof. Both out at the same time and back in is definitely the more challenging option here. Beautiful. We got one more time through of those. Press out and bring it back in. If you want to, you can relax your head back on the floors and begin. So just press out and in. Remember, thumbs right underneath of those glutes on the low back. Makes it a little bit easier to find some support, especially if you're still really working on that ab strength. Press through those heels, toes flexed to your face. Awesome. Next step, we're going to go for an X and an O. So legs out wide, and then crunch yourself all the way out. Lower it down. Begin. I need a little more space, so I'm just going to rotate real fast. If you need to modify, you can always do one leg at a time. Can you hover that heel off of the floor though? So maybe get 2 in on one side, and then you can work to get 2 in on the other. Oh my gosh, I am tired. Awesome, we got one more round through. We're gonna try and really get that big X and then crunch into a ball for an O in 3, 2, 1. This is our last time through. O. And then bring it out. X if you need to. Relax your feet on the floor for a second. And then bring it all in. So we get that little rotation around, similar to how we started with those little penguins. Oh my gosh, we made it. Take a couple breaths right here down on the floor. Feel free to bend those knees and just windshield wipe them side to side. Next up, we've got some push-ups and some tricep work. Grab another sip of water. And grab some weights that you want to have around for some tricep kickbacks. Also going to finish up with a skull crusher because I know that we might be tired after we do a bunch of push-ups. So if you have a slightly heavier weight or two slightly heavier weights that you'd like to use for the skull crusher that you might be able to do a little bit more with than you can with the tricep kickback, make sure that those are nearby. Yay! All right, we're going to start off with our push-ups nice and wide. So a wide push-up focusing a little bit more on the shoulders because we got all those tricep moves coming up. I'm going to do my push-up on my knees from tabletop because I'm tired and my upper body is really tired, and it's just so important to be smart for your body today. If you want to, you can always bring those knees a little bit further back, but I want you to make sure when you're doing your push-up that if you do have those legs or knees further back, that you're bringing your body down in one line, not rolling your body up in a wave and bringing your body down in the wave. We are not doing the wave. It's fun, but you're really losing out on a lot of the work and you're putting a lot of stress in that back. So if you need to, coming up into tabletop so you can really feel that back working, especially as you press yourself back up. All right, so chests come down towards the floor at the same time as the rest of our bellies, or else we come up on to our knees and find a modification. We're going to start right there in 3, 2, 1, begin. There's nothing wrong. Ooh, this is wide. There is nothing wrong with the modification. It's just so important to be smart for your body. Rome was not built in a day. They did not start off creating the top of a pyramid somewhere when they were building the pyramids in Egypt. You got to take a break at the bottom. You got to build that base and foundation so that you can find fitness that works and lasts forever. Ready for round 2? Go for it. Oh, really push into those hands. If you want to, you can even pause on the way up, pause on the way down. Really challenge yourself. Check in with yourself. You're not just going through the motions. Your belly is tight. Your rib cage is knit. Your back is working. Awesome. Lift yourself up. Grab those weights. We're going to stay down on our knees as we come into our tricep kickbacks. So on your knees, find that slight hinge forward and begin. Reach through your knuckles. I have my palms facing in towards each other for round 1 of the tricep kickback. I'm going to change it up just a little bit in round 2. I'm going to find some rotation of the wrist for the next round as we reach back to bring our knuckles to face up towards the ceiling. So you can practice that now if you want. As they brush by your glutes, you turn your wrists behind you just to get a little bit more forearm work in 3, 2, 1. Belly in, begin. So hinge forward, reach it back, rotate, and bring it back in. If that seemed a little too confusing, just go with the regular tricep kickback. Keep those shoulders pulled away from your ears. Shoulder blades seated down your back. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Put your weights down. Next up, we have diamond push-ups. So bring your hands into a diamond. These are a little bit more tricep focused. And begin. You can do it from your knees just like me. Doing it from your knees, push into those hands palms. Just making sure that chest is coming towards the mat first. Even if you can't go all the way down, you're finding the challenge that works for you. I think it's a little bit better to be in that tabletop to work. Oh my gosh. Great, we got 1 more just like that. I prefer to work from tabletop and get negative all the way down towards the floor, but do what feels best for you. Make sure that you're really pushing into the palms of your hands to lift yourself up, not just pushing into the pads of your fingers. You got that much more narrow grip. Can you bring your elbows along by your side? I forgot to mention that. I wondered why I wasn't feeling it so much in the triceps. All right, next we're gonna turn over, lay down on our backs, and get those skull crushers going. So time has started. Have a nice angle at your arms. So your elbows aren't straight up towards the ceiling. They're pointed behind your head slightly. You don't have to lock your arm up at the top. Take a break. So make sure that you don't just have your hands above your chest and the weight's not coming at your face. The weight's coming to crush your head. Your eyes are looking at your inner elbows. Begin. Inner elbows are right in line with your eyes because you have your arms slightly behind you. And if you need to, you can take a bend of your knees to feel stable here on the floor. Keep that lower back glued down. You made it. Great work. I think we got one more move for today. Oh, we got two more moves for today. That made me a little sad. Okay, so next up we're going to go for a little burpee action. We're going to break the burpee down because we're going to start off just with some lunge pulses. So whichever leg you would like to begin with, I'm going to start off with my right leg behind me. We're just going to pulse it out with our right leg behind us in a lunge for 20 seconds. If you need to step out of your pulsing lunge and bring your feet back together just to take a breath for a sec, that's fine. Or maybe you need to go from pulsing it out here to just standing it up for a second. Find what feels good for you. Move as long as you can. We start in 3. Step your foot back. 2. Hands at your waist or chest. 1. Begin. So just pulsing it down. So that back knee's coming down towards the floor. Getting a nice little stretch into your quad as well. Keep your hips squared with whatever direction that front leg is. And you're intentionally keeping some weight in your front heel and the back ball of the foot. Take a break. So you're lifting yourself up more through the front heel that's planted. 3, 2, 1, begin. As opposed to just pushing off of the back ball of the foot. How low can you go? Just keep moving. You're so worth it. Oh my gosh. Burns. Oh, step your feet together. Shake it out. We got 2 to go on the other side. 3, 2, 1. Square those hips and begin. So squaring those hips just means that the leg that you have behind you, you didn't open yourself out to the leg. It's not some weird side lunge. It's just a back lunge. Foot's directly back behind you. Pulse it out here at the end. Great. One more time through. Then we're going to do some alternating lunges and add in either a squat thrust or a burpee. Begin. So step it back. Last time with just the single leg pulsing lunge. Oh, more than halfway through. We got this. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. If you have an opportunity to find that jumping lunge, you know I'm afraid to because of my neighbor. So I'm just going to step it back. Step the other one back and begin. And then find this little burpee or either squat thruster. Lift yourself back up. Step it back. Step or jump. Huzzah! Can you alternate which leg you lead with that goes behind you? Take a break. We're going to keep up with that all the way through to the end of this round. Begin. I'm going to start with the thruster this time. Remember, you can have your hands at your hips to help you with balance. You can even keep your arms up overhead while you do this lunge to challenge your balance a little bit more, to challenge your core. Oh, take a break. 2 more times through. Less than 1 minute of work here to go. We're going to finish up with some planks on the floor. Begin. So if your form's starting to feel sloppy, I know mine did on that last round, slow it down. Really work to get those hands, palms all the way on the floor as you come into that thruster, not just the pads of your fingers so that your wrists continue to feel good. You take a break. Last time through. right. Oh, I forgot about the lunge already. Yes, yes. Maybe you go a little slower, but you go a little bit deeper. Just keep moving. That's the most important part. Don't just stop, because this is the last time through. You made it. You made it through. We made it through 6 rounds already. We got 1 last round on the floor. I seem to have lost my water. I found it. All right. Let's change up the timing of our last round, because I also want to make sure that we have plenty of time. I was like, what? Okay. We're just going to do 3 planks. We're going to do each of them for 40 seconds, and then we're going to come right into our break. We'll do 20 seconds of rest between each, though. So starting off with a delightful either forearm or straight arm plank. I want it to be your choice. We're going to focus on doing some hip rainbows here. I'm going to demonstrate this one at the beginning from your knees. So just finding a big arching side to side with your hips. If you're doing it from your forearms or your toes, you're really working to bring that whole rainbow side to side. So much fun. All right, we start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. Awesome. So even if you're on your knees, you can still just really work to find as much rotation. You're going to start to feel this through the sides and upper body, which hopefully are feeling a little bit tired, especially from those shoulder raises. You're more than halfway through. It can help you to feel stable if you open your feet a little bit wider. I am rotating from the toes to the outsides of my feet. I'm feeling real spatially limited here today. 3, 2, 1. Yay. All right. Come over onto whichever side you want to. Don't be cruel, Fred, because next up we've got side plank. We're going to start off in side planks with some hip dips for the first 20 seconds. Then we're going to find, oh, it feels good already, a big rotation here for the last 20 seconds. Set yourself up and begin. I took my top leg and brought it in front of my bottom leg, sole of the foot planted on the floor just for a little bit more stability. Work to stack those shoulders. Find some length through the crown of your head. Get ready to stretch that arm up and rotate right now. So stay lifted this time. Just find a little bit more rotation if you need to bring that bottom knee or hip down to the ground, and just focus on some big rotation right here. Oh, this stretch feels so amazing for my super tired upper back. Great, let's flip it over to the opposite side. Y'all, you can still have an amazing workout. You don't have to be on your doing the max move the whole time. You just have to be smart for yourself. All right, so get ready. Let's find those hip dips again in 3, 2, 1. Lift yourself up. Maybe the hip dip is not working for you today, but you can take a couple breaths with your hip up and then lower it down. It's just a different form of hip dip than really working to find the lift of the upper hip. If you're just working to find a lift of your hip in general, you're ready for that rotation. Send your top arm up and go. This side feels a lot easier, more open than the other side did for me. How about for you? Did you notice one side was easier than the other? 3, 2, 1. Great work. Go ahead, come onto all fours. Let's give ourselves a couple cat-cows right here. So get your hips stacked on top of your knees and walk your hands, palms in underneath of your chest. Oh, start in whichever direction feels good. Either in cow with that belly release down towards the floor and your knees pressed down into the floor. You can shake your cow's tail. Keeping those arms nice and straight as you come into cat. Oh my gosh. Wow. Move at the pace that works for you. We'll take a couple more breaths here in cat-cow. Take one more time, move through in each direction. And then go ahead, open your knees nice and wide, bring your toes together, send your hips back towards your heels, walk your hands, palms forward, and find yourself in child's pose. Allow your head to come down to the floor below heart's level. Start to slow your breath down. Find that stretch through your fingers as much as feels good on your shoulders today. If your shoulders are really sore or tired and it does not feel good to extend your arms, take a generous bend of your elbows. Whether your arms are straight or bent, start to gently walk yourself over to the right side as much as possible. As you walk to the right, send your hips, your glutes a little bit more towards your left heel. Really exaggerate the stretch as you can through your left shoulder. Oh my gosh. Maybe even from the fingertips or wrist through the shoulder. And then find another stretch from the shoulder to the hips. As you're ready, go ahead, walk yourself back through center. And then over to the opposite side. Find as big of a stretch as you can. Notice at first where you can feel it and really use your breath to see how can you make it bigger while still feeling good today. Great work. Walk those hands in, lift yourself up. Let's go ahead, tuck our toes under, send hips up towards the ceiling. Take a moment here in down dog. So find as generous of a bend of your knees as you need to, as you really work to shift the weight. Sending the hips up towards the ceiling, your biceps come close towards your ears. Practice coming all the way up onto your toes and then using your breath to release your heels a little closer towards your floor. Finding that nice stretch through the calves. Take your time, walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet. We'll take a generous dangle here. So shift the weight to your heels. You can even bring your elbows to your thighs, coming into a nice modified squat here for just a moment. Oh, while here, take a moment, shake your head. No way, class is almost over. Shake your head, yes. I strongly will consider joining you live for the 6:05 to 6:35. All right, relax those arms down towards the floor. Even if your fingers can't touch, find that extra little stretch through your upper body back, especially with your belly sandwiched and supported on your thighs. Shift the weight back to your heels and roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time. Hi, Fred. At the top, take a deep inhale. Send those arms up overhead. A little push forward of the hips, a squeeze of the glutes. We're going to bend one arm and find a nice little tricep stretch. So just pressing on with the elbow as you walk your hands, fingers down your spine. Use your inhale to stretch back up to the ceiling. And exhale, come into your tricep stretch on the opposite side. Oh my gosh. Use your next inhale, send those arms all the way up towards the ceiling, and your exhale to bring them behind you. Let's go ahead and stagger our stance just a little bit. Oh my gosh, feels so good. Press through that back heel, find a nice little bent front knee. Then change, switch those feet out, still finding this nice big, opening up the chest as we come back into that calf stretch. And then release, switch it up. So you're gonna take one foot and you're gonna kick it forward. Find a bend of the back knee and send your hips towards the back of the room. Go ahead, bring your hands, palms in front of you, it'll reach those hands forward. Stretch through your hands, palms. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, send the other heel forward. Take a bend in your standing leg knee. Send those glutes towards the back of the room. Press your hands forward. Drop your chin to your chest. Really reach through your hands, palms. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, open hands wide. Take your time, relax them down through the side. Find whatever awesome stretches still feel good in your shoulders. Maybe even give yourself a couple more stretches throughout the chest. And make sure you take a moment to really thank yourself for coming today. Recognize how amazing you are for finding, and creating is more so the word for fitness. If you're joining me live on a Monday, if you have any questions or concerns about anything that I said or we did today, if there's anything you're looking for, let us know. Happy to incorporate it in a future workout. Hope to see some of y'all later today and throughout the week. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.